This is The Speaking Show. I'm David Newman, and you're tuned in to the #1 podcast for speakers, consultants, and experts who want to speak more profitably. I am here with Jerson Barreto. Welcome to The Speaking Show.
Thank you for having me. First off, David, really excited to, just have this meaningful conversation.
People need to know that you are a fairly young dude, and you have done some pretty amazing things for being a fairly young dude. Tell us the story about how you came to do what you're doing and the book and the movement that you're leading right now.
Absolutely. So pretty much right now, I am currently 18 years old, and I am the author of Teen 10. Now, my whole entire mission behind Teen 10 and the whole entire reason why that book was written was because from what I've seen within the past few years of me studying self-development, business, funnels, so many different opportunities that there are. But the main thing that what I was seeing was that a lot of these young people, they don't necessarily always have that sort of figure in their life to actually show them these new opportunities. Most of them just think that by them going to high school, going to college, then afterwards, it's just this sort of average life. I've realized just by simply sharing that book within my high school, I've already had around 10 students actually start their own businesses, whether it's going into sales, going into e-commerce, whatever that may be. And it all stemmed from me just having a simple conversation with them and then them just having this light bulb go off in their head of saying wow, there is something more that I never realized was actually possible. And even with this whole entire book, Teen 10, for me, I don't necessarily see myself as this 18-year-old kid who has done these amazing things. Yes, I may be young, but what I definitely know is that age is just a simple number. Doesn't necessarily matter if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 30, even if you're 13, you could do whatever you want. In this sort of term of not, obviously don't go out and rob some sort of banker or something like that. What I'm basically saying is, you have the opportunity and the opportunity to make your own decisions within your own life. Just yesterday, I had somebody from my team come over and we were literally dissecting the whole entire system for our new funnel. And he was going through this time in which with his father, there's some very, very rough periods. His mother just passed away from cancer, literally last week. And then for me to see that, it was such a touching moment. And the thing is, while we were talking, he was just telling me about his dad experience, how he just doesn't like his environment, everything like that. And yes, even though I'm coming from this place of trying to make him understand that life can go on and that life will be better, what I also realized was that when you're inside an environment like that, the truth is you cannot change the people around you. They will be who they want to be. The only thing that he can do is change himself. And even if that's not enough, there's not much else that can be done. So for him, what I was kind of recommending is that if that environment is so toxic, if it's making him depressed, suicidal at some points, then what he needs to do is leave. You need to leave that environment, work on yourself, and then afterwards, if you choose to have that meaningful conversation with that loved one. And that's what I've personally done within my own life. There was times within my family, my dad, my mother, where we were fighting every single day constantly during my 14 and 15 years of high school. There were these time periods where we fought, and I ended up making my mom cry and so many different things. And again, what I actually realized was that it basically came out of this place of pain. For me, I see every sort of argument, every sort of mad interaction always comes from this cry for help. That's the way that I see different things like that. Because the reality is when somebody comes at you with all this negative energy, with all of this, bad, negative sort of intent, what they're actually expressing is their own self negativity. When you see it from this place of they're actually looking for help, you don't see it as this attack on you. Instead, you see it from this perspective of how can I help this person? The truth is, it takes two people to argue and fight, but it only takes one to stop it. That's from my own perspective.
Wow. So I'm just channeling our listeners and they're hearing all this incredible wisdom. And then they're like going back and going, wait a second. Did he just say he's 18 years old? So tell us a little bit. I'm thinking of all the typical activities like a 15, 16, 17-year-old, 2, 3, 4 years ago. Reading personal development and studying funnels and internet marketing would not be the first two things that come to my mind. So let's go down both those tracks. How did you start studying personal development, and who are some of your favorites that you follow and read and subscribe to? And then let's also talk about the same question, all your marketing insight and funnels and online digital strategy. But let's start with the personal development. How did that even become an interest? And then how did you start pursuing it?
So for me, kind of like this whole entire way of me viewing the people who I'm showing this new opportunity to, it's basically a series of breakthroughs. I don't necessarily say like there was this one moment that just completely like showed me this personal development side, but it was a series of different moments that I like had that made me realize how important it actually was. So first off, like I have to say, my dad has been a huge, huge influence in that sense, because what I was saying before was that, you have no control over other people, but you have the control over like your own actions. That's exactly what my dad did. And that's exactly why the whole entire family shifted from, me never wanting to see him, just like wanting him to go to work, to like this whole entire movement of us wanting to actually be part of this family. First off, one of the main experiences that made me realize that why I am so grateful and like so blessed to be in this opportunity. Again, like just even living here inside the United States, it's extremely powerful and extremely beneficial. Back in 2015, my freshman year of high school, I took this trip back to Ecuador. And back to Ecuador, I was literally seeing both sides of the coin. Extreme wealth, mansions, pools, fountains, chicken flights, everything that they do back there. But then I was also seeing the actual village and the environment that my dad and that my mom came from. And it was this series of seeing kids literally playing with mud and like clay and then making their own dolls out of that. And then, seeing this side of poverty and then also extreme wealth allowed me to take that back to my home and then make me realize, wow, it's very, very different seeing it in videos and like TV than to actually see it there and like see it for yourself. And then, even though these kids have mud on their face, they're all dirty, you could still see their white teeth smiling. So that was like the first thing that made me actually listen to what my dad was constantly recommending me, sending me audiobooks, sending me motivational videos on YouTube. Before that experience, I would just never really take it into account. After that, it just made me open up my whole entire mind in terms of what life really is about. Even though, yes, we sort of think that life is just this series of experiences, which it definitely is. The main three words that keeps me going, this is going to come from sort of like a negative kind of place. But what I definitely do believe is that this is one life. After this, we have no idea what comes after it, but we will die. Simple as that. We will pass away. And the only thing that's left behind us is, for example, with me, my Teen 10 book. And then for other people, it's the legacy, it's those videos. Like, even though my dad, he was sending me videos of these motivational speakers, some of those people have passed away. And yet, even though they passed away, I've been able to gain their own knowledge, their own experiences. And because of that, I changed my own life.
Wow, amazing. Well, Jerson, you are modeling the fact that what you said a few moments ago, that age is just the number. And I think the wisdom that you're sharing here is really, really profound. I mean, I don't know how many 18-year-olds are in touch with their mortality and that we're all going to die. You only get one shot. You got to go big or go home. The saying that quote unquote adults have when they look back on their own youth, when they were 18, 20, 22, 23, they say, you know what? I felt I was immortal. I felt that I had all the time in the world, that I'm not going anywhere. And you're coming at this with a very mature very profound statement that, every minute counts, every day counts. We don't know how much time is left in that hourglass that we have predetermined for us. Super quick commercial break. Isn't this interview amazing? If you'd like to get more ideas on how to start or grow your speaking business fast, pop over to our free training at doitmarketing.com/webinar. So that's the personal development background. What a lot of kids would do with that insight, they'd go to their basement and they'd start writing bad poetry and they would start writing bad songs. You decide, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to go online. So tell us about the book writing process, and then tell us about the second half of that first question about how in the world did you get all this internet marketing sophistication so quickly?
So one of the main topics in Teen 10 is the power of mentors. Like that is literally probably the biggest piece to all of my sort of internet marketing success with like funnels and email marketing. Is that main thing, right? Like literally just, even if it has to be YouTube, even if you have like $7 in your bank account, you can invest in like a mentor or like, buy a course, whatever that may be. YouTube and Google are literally the two things that every entrepreneur can use to start their own business. Simple as that. You don't necessarily always need the highest, even though yes, it's very, very beneficial. You could start today with the free resources you have around you. Because look, the fact is, anybody listening to this right now, you either have an internet connection, a laptop, and a phone, which is pretty much everything that you need. That camera phone is all what you need to actually document, build that brand, whatever that may be. So pretty much within like the whole entire business side of things, for like a very long time, I was actually just focused on, growing that brand, talking about self-development, and just really, really preaching this fact of, yes, there's this new opportunity. Look at what other people are also doing. Again, Teen 10, and one main thing that I think that a lot of people believe is that writing your own book is like this really hard thing to do, which I like definitely get this fact of, yes, writing this book, maybe like there's probably so many steps to it, which there is definitely a lot of work and thought put into it. But one thing that I always say, and that I like 100% stand behind, is that nothing is hard in life. It's just new, right? Anything that you start, whether it's, you learning marketing or you learning SEO, whatever that may be, it's not hard, it's just new. Because once you get used to it, once you actually get the basics down, you like actually put in those 20 hours to get those basics down. That's when you can really start to see exactly and like get the whole entire feel of that area or that niche. Pretty much with Teen 10, I kind of did it with this publisher and then yet not, because when I actually invested into this person or into these two people, they kind of made it to like believe that it was a publishing company, which in reality, it was this coaching process to self-publish my own book. So it was like a little bit different, but pretty much from that, I like learned how to self-publish my own book and then how to also market it to my brand and to many, many other people. For a lot of authors, one main thing that I personally found actual success in is not only putting your book on Amazon and just like selling it there, which is what a lot of people do, but then also doing, for example, you were also asking me about people that I've studied and looked up to. One main guy is Russell Brunson. Like that is literally the dude that has taught me so much about sales funnels, about, conversion funnels, many different things in the whole marketing world. And what I'm actually doing is giving away my book, Teen 10, for free. And then also building up my company through that means of one, impact. And then on top of that, also growing that email list as well. Then after that, there are many different breakthroughs. And I'm not sure if I want to talk about every single little thing. But what I definitely will say is that the whole entire business market, one, as you obviously know, there are ups and there are downs. There have been times within my business where I have literally made $5,000 profit and then $300 profit in a month, So that's why, yes, business sounds fancy. Entrepreneurship sounds great. Being your own boss, it sounds great. One thing that I definitely realized was that it's a lot about discipline. Like right now, I have the opportunity to either be on here talking with David Newman or have the opportunity to go sleep. So there's many different aspects to it that a lot of people don't take into account when you actually quit your job and start running your own business. The main reason why I actually started monetizing and getting into sales and marketing wasn't out of inspiration. It was out of desperation, to be honest. Because back in 2017, January, I actually quit my job as a dishwasher at a restaurant. And right after that, I was starting to pay $300 per month for one of my dad's apartments. I definitely realized was that, okay, I'm not washing dishes. I'm not making any sort of money from my job. I need to make something work within this online marketing space. So that's where the whole entire drive came from that. So studying, hopping on sales calls, learning sales. There have been many times in which I was doing 20 sales calls every day and then making 0 sales. And then after that, once again, I put in those hours, learn the basics, learn from the people who had the results I wanted. That's when I was hopping on 5 calls, 3 calls closed, $300, $500 closed that day. Many, many different sort of perspectives on it, but I definitely will say that the power of mentors is the main thing that has allowed me to grow at a much, much quicker rate.
Interesting. When you were making the sales calls, were you selling the book or what were you selling?
No, I was actually either one, selling this coaching program to actually teach other people how to self-publish their own books. But the main thing that I was selling was actually other people's digital products. I was getting like 50% commissions. I was working up with my partner .com camp. He had this drop shipping course. It was selling good. Then I was like, let me actually sell it to people. And then boom.
Wow, how about that? So we're going to hook people up with all the fabulous links and everything that they need to know, but I'm just going to mention this now ahead of time. The website is Teen 10 Book, and that's Teen, teen, the digit 10, 10, teen10book.com. When you go there, you'll see all kinds of fabulous, amazing testimonials, and you'll see some pretty cool photos. So there's you and Lewis Howes. How did you and Lewis get connected?
Yeah, so honestly, writing your own book has extreme power. And I'm sure that you've definitely realized that, even though, yes, a lot of people think that, again, it's this sort of hard thing to do, when you actually have a great book that actually changes people's perspectives, their own lives, in whatever area that book may talk about, the people who actually are genuine and that actually want to help you out, they're more than happy to do so. So first off, with me and Lewis Howes, he was actually having this book launch for his book, The Mask of Masculinity. And because of that, also had to have this meaningful conversation with him, not only on his own book, but also on Teen 10. And he was giving me all sort of different insights to book writing and many, many different other things. But yeah, Lewis Howes, that was just one picture. And then besides that, back in 2018, 2017 was when I was really going hard on meeting all of these big influencers and, network marketers.
Wow. Very, very cool. I also have to give you a ton of credit. And I think people listening really need to take this lesson to heart. When we look at all of your testimonial videos about the book and about you and your ideas, these are not the usual suspects. These are not, Seth Godin and Lewis Howes. I mean, Lewis helped you, obviously, and you guys have a nice relationship. But all the testimonial videos are from people who are 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old. So getting into your target market, having those people say, Jerson's book is the real deal. Jerson's book is awesome. Totally changed my life. I hate reading. I hate books. I read his book cover to cover and it meant something to me. So being dialed in to your target market, having them speak for you, having them sell for you, having them share what was the impact on their life, their career, school career, college career, whatever it might be. A lot of people say, no, I need to get the big names. And yeah, big names have a place, but I think being dialed into the exact people that you want to serve and that you want to sell to and that you want to help and having them become your best spokespeople, we need to be doing more of that. It's not about the big marquee names. It's about the actual people that we're helping, right?
100%. One main thing in, for example, the whole entire business aspect, a lot of people think that, having, let's say, Tony Robbins shout you out and having that sort of credibility is going to just skyrocket your brand. I personally much rather have 10 people who have read Teen 10 to actually create that video of them authentically sharing their experience instead of Tony Robbins just saying, yo, what's up, guys? Just get this book, Teen 10. Like, the main reason is because they are actual people who are meant Teen 10 one, like for them to actually read. And then on top of that, they're going to speak from a much more genuine place, which is something. And look, to be honest, people nowadays, we all can detect our own bullshit meters, right? We can see right through people in terms of what they're authentically doing and also what they're trying to fake or kind of snake their way around. So again, yes, with Teen 10, the best sort of testimonials and the best thing for me that I've seen is when I just get those messages like, dude, this one piece right here really, really resonated with me. And I'm really gonna like apply this piece into my own life. And then even after that, to see how it changed them, it's just priceless. You cannot put a price on helping your customers change any aspect of their life.
And I think you're also dialed into something really important that many adult entrepreneurs are not quite dialed into yet, which it's not about the book, it's not about the speech, it's not about the program, it's not about the mentoring, it's about the results. Right? Yeah. So you and I are in the results business. We're here to change people's lives, businesses, careers, family situation, whatever it is. I mean, even the advice that you gave to your friend saying, listen, dude, you're in a toxic environment. You cannot have a healthy mindset and a healthy life if you stay in that toxic environment. So you got to make a change from the outside in, and all that advice that you're giving, you're there to change his results. You're not there to sell them a coaching package or to say, hey, buy 10 copies of my book. One of the things I'm guessing frustrates you, because I know it frustrates me, is people will buy our book and they will not read our book. And if they only read the book, you can't say this with everybody, because some people write crappy books. I know your book is awesome. You put a lot of time, heart, effort, energy into it. When you write a really great book that at this point, you can almost say, this is my life's work up to this point in time. And this is the wisdom and the advice and the help that I have to offer the universe. But they don't read the book, they're not going to get the result. So because we're in the results business and not just the selling books business, you have to amplify that message other ways. One of the things I want to ask you about, bottom of the website, when you go to teen10book.com, is you speaking to a group of students. Are you getting hired by high schools or middle schools or colleges to share this message and share the ideas in the book so that they can start to have these results?
So basically, my first mission was actually going around to my own city and then speaking at these elementary schools first to actually talk about Teen 10. So within 2019, I haven't necessarily focused in on too much of the speaking side, but instead more of the whole entire digital marketing funnel side. But back in 2018, yes, I was speaking to, whether it's classes, elementary schools, whatever that may be, like whatever opportunity they like gave me, bam, took it. For me speaking, like, look, David, I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. I was extremely, extremely introverted and like shy. Like I could not sit down here and like talk to you right now. I'd be stuttering, I'd be sweating. There's probably so many different things that I would be, sort of breaking down. But what has allowed me to change was actually this one opportunity that this high school club gave me, which was for this like sort of business like club and like program. They were like having this sort of election day where you could run for president, vice president. But the key thing there is that you actually had to give a 1-minute speech on why the people should vote for you. Before that time, I was, watching these videos of these motivational speakers and, all of these sort of different things. And I had all of this information inside of me, but I was still nervous to actually speak to people, and especially to be speaking in front of a crowd of 30, 100, like whatever that number may be. I was scared of talking in front of people. But instead of me like cowarding out and then just being one of those members who just sits down and just waits for like orders or stuff like that, I actually took the initiative. Literally the day before the actual election day, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's actually do this. So boom, just had this like one little index card. And that's when I like pretty much went up there. And it was this whole entire new version of myself that even my like own friends saw this. They were like, yo, dude, you're this like quiet, shy kid, man. Like, I did not expect you to go up there and deliver with so much passion and like to actually captivate them. Because one main thing that I've seen personally is that, you know, people, especially teenagers, they tune out very, very quickly. They have a very, very short attention span. So the first thing that I did when I got up there was be up there for 10 seconds on my phone. First thing to like actually captivate them, you know, using some sort of object like these speakers that I saw do. And because of that, the classroom was quiet for like 5 seconds. So everyone was kind of wondering, okay, like, what is he like going to do? Then like literally right after that, got off my phone. And then I was like, you see, this is the death to our success. And then just going into the whole entire, you know, speech about that. And that was the whole seed that planted for my speaking sort of passion. And then from that, obviously going to different elementary schools, classrooms, it's just been a whole entire different opportunity and like a different field, because I don't speak from this place of, I'm gonna just give this value and then go home. I speak from this place of there's somebody in that audience that needs to hear this story, that needs to hear what I have to say. And I don't see it from like just gonna get this information and then have a great day today. This is something from what I see that could change their whole life and their outlook on their perspective moving forward into the future. That's my perspective on it. And because of that, I get into this whole new state of not me being nervous or trying to be shy, but instead of like, this is a point in which I need full commitment to myself, because these people, these kids need to hear this, because or else they're going to have pain within their own life moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Let me also dig into something that I saw in the article on Influensive, which is you seem to be a master of focus and the concept of stick with one thing. Do not try and pursue 17 different projects, 17 different marketing strategies, because we have a limited time on the planet and limited time every single day. How do you drill down on focusing on that one thing at a time that will move you forward, that one thing that will sell more books, that one thing that will bring in more coaching clients, that one set of things that will advance your impact and your revenue? It's very easy to get distracted. I mean, you mentioned that you start your speech with the phone, right? And it's very easy to get into reactive mode. Oh, so-and-so Facebooked me. And oh, look at this on Instagram. And oh, someone's Snapchatting me now. And oh. And pretty soon you realize, oh my God, the whole day's gone. It's 4:00 and I've done nothing to advance my goals or advance my income or advance my message. How do you have the discipline to stick with one thing? And what does stick with one thing even look like in a given day?
So first off, just kind of taking this whole entire thing back, I initially was not focused on whatsoever. I was very, very distracted by my phone, by anything that came up within my day. And then from that, I like literally realized was that I was wasting my life and wasting my time by simply reacting, like you were saying, to notifications, you know, to different dumb things that didn't necessarily lead me towards a successful life. So because of that, that's when I like really started dialing down into, okay, how exactly do I take control over my time, which eventually leads me to take control back over my life. So because of that, that's when I like started, you know, really dissecting and really having the discipline, like you said, to actually seek clarity within my life. Because a 99.9% of the time that I've seen in which I've been most unproductive is because I don't have clarity within that day, that week, or that month. And because I don't have clarity, there's this sort of cloud of distraction. And because I don't know exactly what I need to do or what I need to get done, literally anything could just take me off of that path because I don't have a set target. And that's why I think that focus is really, really shines and is meant to be, is because we don't have clarity and we don't have a set perspective on what we need to get done. So for example, within my own days, what I'm actually doing now is setting up 5 targets, 5 things that I need to get done that day to actually move forward within my business and within my own career. After those 5 things are done, I'm chilling. I'm like going out with my friends or my like brother playing this video game with my like little sister. After those 5 things are done, that's when I can relax with my girlfriend, whatever that may be, whatever I want to do. If I still want to go for more business stuff, 100% definitely go for it. But I also realize is that I just can't get done 20 things within that day, every single day. That's just me personally. Some people may be able to conquer that. Great for you. You're probably going to be 3 years, 5 years ahead of me. This is just the way that I'm living my own life, right?
Whoa, what a great interview. Are you taking notes? Remember to visit thespeakingshow.com for complete show notes, links, downloads, and resources related to this episode. See you over there. I also love what you have at the top of the Teen 10 book website, which I think not many people would choose to do this, but I love that you did it, and I think your fans and followers love it as well. You say over 1,000 people impacted, about 1 million more to go. So you have this big, beautiful, fantastic goal, and you're like, guys, we're this little teeny tiny step into what we're here to do. People say, oh no, we can't say that. Let's either inflate the number or let's not talk about the number until it's 10,000 or 15,000. You're like, no, we're starting right here, right now, total open book. We've had about 1,000 people pick up this book, about 1 million more to go. And I love that because even that will get you focused and get you reconnected to why you're doing what 100%. You're doing. So I just love the fact that you have that mission, that number, that quantity loud and proud right at the top of the website. You said that you also have like a self-publishing coaching program.
Yeah.
How does that work? And tell us about the coaching division of your company.
When I was first starting that, I was getting clients. I had like about 8 people that I was coaching at that time. What I definitely realized was that for me, I had to take this step back and actually go through this process in which I was not only selling impulsively to people, but also dissecting what they truly want. And also a huge, huge thing about me coaching people is that their mindset needs to be at this place of like actual execution. Because I cannot work for 2 months with somebody that has all of these sort of depression issues. Like first, they need to read Teen 10. Then after that, that's when I can really start to work with them on this business side of things. Because something that I definitely realized was that people who are in this place of distraction and unfocusedness or this like whole entire insecurity phase, the first thing that they need to do if they really want to like actually grow a company or a business is be the figure that they actually need to be to run that business. Like 2015 Jerson cannot be talking to you right now. 2016 Jerson cannot be working with this team of 6 people to actually grow this whole entire company. And because I became the person that I needed to be, I was never, this Jerson, this like dude that could run an aspiring 6-figure company. But instead, I became that person. And because I like actually invested into my own time and my own knowledge to actually acquire that knowledge, because of that, I was able to actually get results for those people. Again, like working with those 8 people, not a single one of them actually published their own books. And look, that's probably like a whole side of business that people don't share. But like the truth is, there have been times in which people are like telling me like, this just isn't working for me, man. Can you give me this refund? There have been times like that. And I've gone through like these different phases and these different circles. I definitely realized working with those 8 people, not everybody is ready at that point in their life to actually learn from. Some of them, it was this, sort of chip on their shoulder. Like they had that ego and they didn't necessarily want to sit down and listen. So honestly, sadly, it is the death of most success within this industry. That ego, that sort of, need to feel and seek validation. For me, luckily, I like always came from this perspective of trying to be humble. And yes, there definitely have been some times in which I was letting my ego get too big. Because of that, I was having my like girlfriend immediately bring me back down to it. She was like, who do you think you are? And again, it just allowed me to self-check. And there probably will be times in my future where there will always be these self-check-ins like, okay, Is this area good? Are my customers being taken care of? Is my team good? And as an entrepreneur, we literally have so many different things going on inside our own heads. And sometimes we just get so frustrated or like caught up. But again, back to what I was saying about clarity before, we need that set, like actual pen and paper. Or, so, for example, me, I use my like own whiteboard and to actually dissect what sort of things take priority and what things we need to do. And look, those 5 things don't always have to be about business. For example, me, one of my 5 things is taking care of my health. And on top of that, maybe one thing is simply sitting down with my little sister, going out to sell her like chocolates or something like that, which is something that she like loves doing. She loves making money. She's always asking me, Jerson, you got anything to do for me? I was like, yeah, here's $3, buy a like desk.
Totally fantastic. All right. Well, wow. By the way, this whole client selection thing about only working with clients who are ready to execute.
Yeah.
Just so you know, it took me about 30 years longer than you to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
So just fun stuff. And you're absolutely right. Client selection, only working with people who are ready, only working with people 100%. Who are committed, only working with folks who have the right mindset. And yes, they need the guidance, they need the strategies, they need the tactics, they need the tools. We can be great coaches. We can lay out all the strategies, tactics, tools, exactly what to say, exactly what to do. If people don't pick up those tools, they don't get the results. 100%. So it's about working with action takers. That is really the vital difference, right?
Very, very true. And because of that, not only do you waste your own time, but like you're also wasting their time.
Yes. And they're not ready. They're not ready.
Exactly.
They're not ready. It's go big or go home. Well, I've got 2 final questions for you as we wrap up here. The final question is, where do people go to learn more about the book, more about you, more about your coaching? And we're going to hook up all the links right below this episode. When people go to thespeakingshow.com, we're going to have hot links to the Jerson world and everything that you need to know. Before that question, though, I want to ask you, if folks were to take one central idea or one key idea from our conversation today about everything, about entrepreneurship, around the way that we handle our mindset, the way we prioritize, what would you hope that one big takeaway for listeners would be?
Obviously, so many different aspects and like so many different things. But if I had to say, the one thing that really changed my life and changed my business was self-awareness. And what I mean by that is, the truth is, you don't know what you don't know. Even if you're the expert in this business, even with me, I know so much about funnels, there's always that other step to take. And the thing is, seeking opportunity, looking for what's actually there. A lot of people, they change their lives by simply typing in on YouTube how to make money online. Be curious. And because of your own curiosity, the opportunities are limitless. So many doors can open for you.
And I love what you said earlier about, man, all you need today is the laptop, the cell phone, the internet, and it's the great democratizer. If you have a great idea or great value, this is your moment to grab the laptop, grab the cell phone, grab the internet, and make your move. Let's talk about, how do people get connected and stay connected to you, Jerson? What else can we give them by way of links and resources and things to look at and places to go?
So first off, if you actually want to get Team 10 for free, and also one thing that I was mentioning to you within that email is that not only are we going to be giving away Team 10 for free at www.team10book.com, but also for every single book shipped out, what we're actually doing is donating $5 to a suicide prevention charity for teenagers. So not only are we gonna just give away that book, but on top of that, one thing that I was definitely mentioning to my team and that we actually want to do is make this other impact through this other side of actually helping out teenagers through that different way. Because not only are adults going through it, but a lot of teenagers, my girlfriend has also gone through periods like that, depression within her family and suicide thoughts. And then on top of that, literally last week, I was talking with my younger brother, and he was telling me how he has no idea how to react. He's in 7th grade right now, when there are girls in his class who have either cut themselves or have like thought about or have tried attempting suicide. So that's one of the main things that I'm like really passionate about, is like first helping up those people, and then afterwards being like, hey, there is this new opportunity in life. And I don't necessarily always mean to like, be business focused. Doesn't matter if you want to be a nurse, a doctor. I'm just trying to like show you that there's this new opportunity of living your life the way that you desire. Simple as that.
Yeah, very, very powerful. Well, Jerson Barreto, you are awesome, awesome individual. I am so glad we had this chance to talk. People should go check out the book, check out the movement that you're building, get behind it. And thank you for being on with us today.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity.
Well, that wraps up another episode of The Speaking Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on iTunes. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thespeakingshow.com. See you next time.